first guests here, Shannon and Bonnie from CW Title and Escrow, and they are the title and escrow queens. They help the agents get everything ready to go when they're listing properties, and they make sure everything goes smooth and make sure there's no liens on that property that you're spending a bunch of money on. So I would just like to welcome my guests, Bonnie and Shannon. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great, Tyler. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Good to see you guys. This is fun to have you in here and get you out of the work environment for a little bit. And can you give us a little bit of background on CW Title?
Sure. CW Title was founded locally in 2000. We serve your title insurance needs in Pierce, King, and Snohomish counties with escrow services in all counties for the state of Washington. Our corporate headquarters, underwriting, and legal counsel are all on site locally, with all decisions we make are made with experienced staff who know the Puget Sound area. Our title insurance underwriters are nationally recognized with an A Demotech rating, which is unsurpassed. And for those that don't know what Demotech rating is, it's a financially sound company.
Nice. Bonnie, can you tell us about your position?
I am proud to say that I am the sales manager for CW Title and Escrow. I have been with the company 3 years, and I have been in the business since 1987. I was started in customer service in 1987, went into an examining position, wrote the title reports that folks see, became a title officer, and then went into sales, which I love. I have a really big passion for. I'm also a licensed appraiser for the state of Washington.
Nice.
And I was voted for Tap Car Affiliate of the Year and also for the state of Washington. So very happy to have received that recognition from the real estate folks.
Nice. It's good to have experts on here. Shannon, tell us a little about what you do.
I work along with Bonnie. We call on East Pierce County real estate offices, builders, and lenders, and parts of South King County too. So we have a pretty big footprint that we call on and service folks in. I started in the business in 2001. I started originating loans, and I did that for quite some time until around 2010. And Bonnie had been my title rep my whole time. I was loyal to her, and she brought me into her business, which I'm happy to say I've learned so much more and just kind of enhanced my skills and knowledge on marketing. And so we bring that to the folks out in the field.
Nice. Can you guys just kind of give us a general background on what title insurance is?
We'd love to.
Perfect.
Did you want to start, my dear?
Sure. Title insurance primarily is a policy that in a contract ensuring a buyer's ownership or interest in a specific piece of real estate property. Title insurance policy ensures the owner or others in having an interest in the property against loss due to encumbrance or a defective title or adverse claims against the title. This includes hidden hazards that we'll touch on.
Okay. Perfect. And then how long does that title policy last when a buyer gets it on their new home?
The coverage lasts as long as you or the heirs retain an interest in the real property, and in some cases even longer.
Okay. Who pays for it? That's a question I always get. Who's paying for this title insurance policy?
Well, by custom, not by law, the seller pays for the buyer's title insurance policy. Again, by custom, the purchaser pays for the title insurance policy, ensuring the purchaser's financing. Again, this is by custom, and a buyer and seller may agree between themselves as to who should bear the cost of the title insurance.
Okay. And we always hear that there's a title search going on, so let us know what a title search actually is.
Well, a title search is a detailed examination of the historical records concerning the real property. These records include deeds, court records, property indexes, name indexes, and tax records, among others. The purpose of the search is to verify the seller's right to transfer ownership and to discover any claims, defects, rights, or burdens affecting the property.
So CW Title's doing hundreds and thousands of these a year. You guys got to come across some good stories. What kind of stuff comes up on these title reports?
Well, there's a lot.
How long do we have?
Yeah.
A title search can show defects, liens, encumbrances, and restrictions such as unpaid taxes, unsatisfied mortgages, judgments against the seller, and restrictions limiting the use of the land. We also run people's names, so things of that nature can come up as well.
What happens if a buyer kind of worries that something doesn't get caught and the home closes? Are there problems like that ever can be missed?
Absolutely. There are hidden hazards or clouds that even the most diligent title searches may never reveal. For instance, the previous owner could have incorrectly stated his marital status, resulting in a possible claim by his legal spouse. Other hidden hazards include fraud, forgery, defective deeds, mental incompetence, confusion due to similar names, like Bonnie just mentioned, clerical errors of record. These defects can come into light after you've purchased your home, and it could jeopardize your right to the ownership.
So it's important that we get a good title team to handle the business, right?
Absolutely.
How much could I lose if a claim is filed against my property? That's another question that comes up.
Well, that depends on the claim. In an extreme case, and this is extreme, you might lose your entire home and property, then still be liable to pay off the balance of your mortgage, and that's huge. Most claims are not that dramatic, but even the smallest claim can cost you time and money.
Let's talk about the different title policies, because I know there's a bunch out there. Can you highlight those? What are the different kinds?
We've got, is it 3 different kinds of policies? Typically, the homeowner has the option of choosing the different types of coverage, but Bonnie could probably talk a little bit more about that.
Well, the most favorite coverage we have is the homeowner's policy, and that really covers a lot.
Okay.
So there's different types of way people can come into title, but the homeowner seems to be the best one, and it just covers so many things. That the best thing for our clients, and what we ask people to do if they are really concerned about that, we have these available online at our www.cwtitle.net to really research that and make sure that's the right fit for what their needs.
Do you have a lot of people coming and saying, hey, we're really concerned about this particular property, can we get extensive coverage, or is it usually that homeowner's policy that they're going after?
That's typically what it is. And it also defaults on your real estate contracts too.
Okay.
So if someone knows that there's something different, or they've got, radar up about something, we need to talk about that extra coverage that they might need.
And these policies are just ginormous. These title, I've seen them. They come in my email and they're like 70 pages or whatnot. What are the stuff to look for on there?
That would be something you probably want to contact us and talk about.
Yeah.
They do come with a lot of verbiage, and if you're not familiar with them, it can be a little Greek.
Okay.
So if somebody is looking at that and they really want to have a detailed description or analysis of what to look for, we can really help them with that. We review those title reports every day when they come across our desk, and our escrow staff as well, to look for things that are going to be holding up title. And that's the reason why we do them so often on the listings, to get ahead of the game in case there is something on there. So when the buyers come into the picture, we can have a smoother transaction.
So CW Title has a pretty dominant presence in the state of Washington. What do you think that is for? Is that just they're just kind of all over a lot of shops, or what's the difference kind of that separates you guys and other companies?
Well, we like to think that we have a really great staff, and we really take care of folks. We really have a passion for making sure that the transactions go smoothly. One of the things we do for folks is a lot of people have to work 8 to 5, and if they're unable to come to the office to sign documents through the escrow process, we come to them. We don't have any demands on them being available and having to leave work or family. We work after hours with our signings and on the weekends, and all those services are free of charge.
That's just awesome, Bonnie. That makes such a difference, because you have all these buyers that have so many things going on. They're working to get all their paperwork to escrow, and tying up loose ends. To be able to have them come and sign you is huge. So it sounds like we're gonna switch the topic a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about escrow. What is an escrow company?
Escrow, it's a person, not a place.
Okay.
Escrow is it's a neutral third-party process in which the documents are funded and are deposited by the buyers and sellers and lenders to facilitate the closing of a real estate transaction. Escrow is required to follow mutual written instructions from all the parties. Escrow will coordinate the buyer, the seller, and the lenders to obtain the required signatures on all the documents. They work closely with the title officer to clear the liens and encumbrances against the property, and record the documents with the county.
So sometimes I'm working with out-of-state buyers. Maybe they're in New York or something, and they kind of everything's done by attorneys and everything. Why do we need an escrow company?
Well, the escrow, it assures all the parties to a transaction that no funds are delivered and no documents are recorded until all conditions of the transaction have been met. So essentially, we're crossing our I's
Yeah.
and, or, excuse me, dotting our I's and crossing our T's. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, it's very important. So how do you open up escrow, and when do you open up escrow?
Opening up escrow is the first step in the closing process. Generally, to open up the escrow, the parties to a transaction deliver to an escrow company the earnest money check and the purchase and sale agreement, which outlines the transaction and provides the closing date, contingencies, and all the financing details. Anyone involved in a transaction can open the escrow, but generally your real estate agent will do so. In the case of a for sale by owner or a FSBO, the buyer, the seller, either one of them may open it up.
That's a good question. Who are you guys normally seeing, kind of direct title and escrow? Is that something that the listing agent's doing? I know it's always the buyer's choice. Is it usually the buyer that's putting that on there? Or who do you guys usually see doing that?
For escrow, it is the buyer's choice. I believe people rely on their trusted real estate advisors to make the best choice for them. So the agents do really facilitate a lot of value to their clients, and essentially those decisions are made with them.
Okay.
Listing agent usually will list the property before the buyer gets in the picture and choose a title company for the title side. So typically that's how it works, and it seems to be a good mix. We do a lot of business that way, and it's very successful.
So Bonnie, the listing agent will usually recommend using a particular company, and there's advantages to using the same title and escrow company, correct?
Correct, because there's a lot of savings when we do title and escrow together. There's an additional 10% off on the title
Nice.
for the seller, and then there's an additional 5% on the buyer side.
Okay, so they can save a lot of money doing that.
They can save a lot of money doing that, yeah.
Perfect. Always get this question, who sets the closing date?
The buyer or the seller can select the closing date, but both must agree to it. The purchase and sale agreement may state the closing date as closing to occur on or before August 20th of 2012. In most cases, closings occur 30, 60, or 90 days from the date of a purchase and sale agreement is all signed around.
Okay. And then what do closing costs include? A lot of questions on that.
Yes, there are. The closing costs will include title search fees, taxes, notary fees if applicable, loan fees, escrow fees, recording fees, reconveyance fees, the real estate sales commission, and other charges. We do have a closing cost section on our website, again, that really defines what those are and really delineates them for those that need to have a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, all the listeners out there, we've got Bonnie and Shannon here from CW Title and Escrow, and we're talking about closing costs, and it's a question that we get all the time, and question of who pays the commission. It's amazing how many people don't understand that the seller is actually paying the commission.
Yep.
And as real estate agents, we actually work for free, and the seller pays us when we list the property, but when we're the buyer's agent, it comes from the seller. So pretty interesting stuff there. Now, who chooses the escrow company?
The parties involved in the transaction decide the escrow company. They decide which one will close the transaction. Although it's very common for your real estate agent to recommend the escrow closers, the parties have the right to choose an escrow closer that they feel is competent and experienced. The law prohibits escrow companies from paying referral fees to real estate agents to protect the parties' right to select their own escrow closer.
Awesome. That is a lot of information on title and escrow for all the listeners out there. We just got time for one more question. So just interested to see, what are you guys seeing out there? Because you guys are so heavily involved with, the 10% of the agents that are doing 90% of the business. What are they doing differently? What's your kind of the feel on the market?
Well, we are seeing a lot of things turn over really quickly right now. The inventory and the real estate market is low, and a lot of multiple offers are coming in, especially in King County. It's an exciting time for us because, as you know, the last few years have been slower, and we're really seeing a positive influx in the marketplace right now, and we're super excited about it.
Shannon, what are your thoughts for the rest of the year? Do you think we'll keep the momentum, or do you think it's going to slow down at all?
I think we're going to keep the momentum. We're going into the season right now where everybody is really looking to want to get settled, before the school starts for the fall to get their kids settled. We're seeing we've seen our numbers tick up heavily over the last 30 days, and so I think it's going to keep on going for, gosh, at least until fall time. It seems like it kind of quiets down a little bit down there, but I wanted to throw in really quick too that this is a lot of information that we all went over, and if anybody wants to go to the website that Bonnie mentioned earlier, www.cwtitle.net, there's a tab under resources where you can learn about the title and escrow information just to feel empowered and kind of dispel the myths and hopefully make you not as scared to go through the process.
Yeah, information is definitely power. Okay, I got to get one more quick question from you too. So you guys do so much stuff for the agents that you guys call on, the marketing and going above and beyond, and it's just so helpful. What are you seeing is really successful for these agents right now that they're using in terms of the marketing you guys are providing?
We are doing a lot with farming right now, and really fine-tuning their marketing presentations. We have a lot of resources online with our website through Value Check, and but farming seems to be the big main thing that we're really busy with right now.
Awesome. And agents can reach out to you. You guys will meet up with them and kind of go over their business plans and help them succeed, right?
That's what we do. We develop relationships. Shannon and I are really big about working with people that, you know, are loyal, and we do everything above and beyond with our staff that we can to get that transaction closed as best as we can.
I love it. Well, you guys do a great job, and thank you so much for taking time on your Saturday to come out here and meet with me and give us the scoop on title and escrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. It was a pleasure to be here. We feel really lucky that you asked us.
Oh, I'm glad you guys are here, and thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick break and bring it back to the producer. You're listening to Clay 1180 AM. I'm Tyler Freed, and this is Community Real Estate Talk Show. We'll be right back. Thanks.